Hello and welcome to the practical video explaining a bit more about the King Pigeon Pose, Eka Raja Kapotasana, where you find the full flow over there. So in this flow, we had an intelligent way to sequence towards this position. King Pigeon is the position where we are. Let me demo. Don't do this without preparation. I am prepared. So you have this pigeon, you have this external rotation in the front leg, you have this hip open here. And then in the back leg, you're going to get a nice extension of the hip flexor. And we're going to flex the back leg. So we're going to bend the leg. And then in the full version, either we have the mermaid. So we have this openness in the shoulders, and in the full expression we have a full spinal extension as well, and openness in our shoulder joint. Okay, so what we want to do is we actually want to mimic that shape. So first of all, we want to prepare and open for those deeper rotations, those extensions, and that ability to be fully open in the hips and shoulders and heart. And then at the end, we want to kind of compensate that. Do not, because hip openers and heart openers, they full on like open the energy and put us in a deep level also of vulnerability. So afterwards, we want to kind of close it off again. So what kind of things did we do, or what kind of things can we do for the hips? Firstly, is to do some hip movement like this. We can also prepare the ankles more. We can do some other movements, some hip rolls as well that prepare us. We can do the squat position, garland pose, or malasana to open an external rotation. And of course, we can here be also in this lunge position where we can press and open at the same time. It's a similar shape into the hip flexor. So all the lunge, whether it's this like twisted, deeper variation of the lizard, possibly on the forearms, or here, we're all preparing this like extension here, this opening of the psoas area of the hip flexors. Now, we also did a warrior 2 and a trikonasana. So also this one is opening and preparing us. And wild thing. When we're going towards wild thing, we're actually going to open up more into the chest, and we want to make sure that in our back bending, our spinal extensions, that we maintain the connection to the core. That's why wild thing is one of my favorite positions, because especially if we do wild thing, and we keep it afloat, so we don't put the toe, but we keep it afloat, we are forced to engage to the abdomen. We are forced to engage the back line of the body. And that's the thing that many times when we are focusing on back bending, on spinal extensions, we tend to think about going deep, but I like to see it as going far, of creating length and maintaining a sense of lift into the spine and having a very gradual opening of the spine. So other back bends, of course, upward facing dog, the cobra, they set us up and really holding those positions a bit longer. So you really can breathe into them and prepare the spine well. Of course, we did the vinyasas as well to open up. And then we also did these movements where we are opening in the shoulders, such as the cow face arms, where we are opening and kind of mimicking the shape already, as well as shoulder rolls and also the variations of clasping together and folding forward. We did that in a standing position as well. So we're having this nice internal rotation, but an opening of the shoulders and the back body. So these are all preparatory poses, and you always want to see like, what shape am I doing? What elements do I need? How can I put them together? And how can I also sometimes repeat certain things but build them up gradually? So doing the same but with a bit more depth, such as from baby cobra to upward facing dog, or from this position where you just do the upper side, where you do the full expression with the lower hand involved as well. And so as you go, and as you most of all also explore in your own body, you'll find more confidence there. So just to sum it up, the key alignment principles of the King Pigeon. It's to maintain a sense of lift, possibly support the front leg with a block, maintaining the sense of lift and ensuring that you are creating length in the spine rather than depth. You keep breathing fully wherever you are, and you make sure that you can hold with a steady breath for a few breaths. That's how we know our body is actually ready to go into the pose, and it's no force from the mind. Now at the end, I finished off with some twists and also with an internal rotation. So there's multiple poses doing internal rotation, but this is super important because we moved the hip joint a lot outward and we kind of want to move it inward at the end. Possibly some twists and also just closing the heart a bit, not necessarily closing, but just giving yourself some space to draw back inward, as back bending has an effect on the adrenals, on the lower back. So it's an activating practice. So we can kind of turn onto the right side for some time, really tapping into those lunar qualities and relaxing a bit more before practicing our Shavasana. Another way to do Shavasana in or after back bend practice, also to do Parshva Shavasana. You can do it on the belly to have a more introspective look. But whatever it is, make sure that in the first place it suits your body. That's the most potent way to build your flows, is to allow it to come from this intelligent communication in our body, because our body knows. So thank you so much for playing and creating with me. If you have any questions or any other peak positions you'd like to see a flow towards, or you have any doubts, please let us know. We are very happy to assist you in your asana and yoga journey. Thank you.